This is The Red Lens.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Cris von Erik, and this is The Red Lens. How are you this evening? And as usual, I am always joined by my co-host, my disciple, Franklin. How are you this evening?
I'm doing all right, Chris.
Hey, what's up, Lorenzo? How are you?
Hey, Chris.
There
I'm
he
doing good.
is.
How are you guys?
Doing okay.
Yeah, we're hanging in there, man. So
Good to have you.
fine.
Yeah, no, thanks for inviting me. I'm sorry if I'm late.
No, that's all right. No, I think I told you to wait a couple seconds until we got going. So, but yeah, so just to
Sorry.
let everybody know, this is Lorenzo. You are I guess you would say the owner, operator, producer of the whole YouTube channel, Nerdballer TV. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
The head macher.
Since we've been asking all our audience, how are you holding up in wherever you are?
It's funny because my content primarily consists on 6th Street, which is a popular street full of bars and clubs in Austin, Texas. And since they've shut that down, I haven't been able to film out there every weekend. So I've been looking into alternative forms of content to produce. Fortunately, I did have a backlog of content that should get me through the end of April, probably May too. And then shooting some stuff that I can while at home. So, but other than that, there hasn't been really much of a change, at least in my daily routine.
So you are located in Austin, Texas? Is that what you mean?
Right. Yeah, I'm based out of Austin, Texas.
Okay. All right. Now, are you married, single, or what do you got going on for yourself?
No, I do have a girlfriend who's also she lives outside of Austin, and yeah, she's actually quarantining with me for the moment right now at my place downtown.
Well, see, there you go. You see, Franklin, he's got it done right.
I was getting ready to
We
say.
got to take a page out of this guy's book.
That's for sure. I'm going to write that down right now.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's good. Hey, at least you have somebody to talk to, and it's not like you're staring at the walls. I mean, a lot of people. We're in New York. We're not literally in the city, thank God.
That's good.
But it's still, whether even though it's slightly residential, it's still very much you're housebound. So
right. Yeah,
that's it. So
yeah, and I was like that for the longest. She recently came over after we're doing the whole after 2 weeks, no symptoms, come over, stay for 2 weeks, no symptoms, you can leave. So she recently just came over. So up until a couple of days ago, I was essentially by myself. But it's
great.
Nice to have her around too. So
see, we should have had you on like a week ago when you were really crawling up the wall.
yeah. Times are different for sure, but I'm still managing.
Good deal.
Now, does your family know about your business? Have they seen the content?
They have. Yes, they're fully aware of the type of content that I produce.
They're like, oh my God, we thought we were gonna raise this kid right. What the hell?
What's wrong with that boy?
It's funny you say that because up until about a year or two ago, I was producing more family-friendly content, Pokemon, League of Legends. It was more gaming-oriented, with very subtle sexual references or images. But, now it's different for sure. But I think the success that's come with it, allowing me, to pay my mom's rent and, help out where I can. I think for me, it's not only a milestone that it's something that I want to do for her to give back, but also then they sort of start to realize like, hey, it may not be the same content we used to show our friends. Like, look what my son's doing, but it's, there could be worse things I could be doing. And at the end of the day, it's everyone's having fun. It's it's a good time. It's entertainment. Might not be their form of entertainment, but ultimately it's what I enjoy doing. So
that's great. That's great.
Good.
Now, how does the business really work in general? Now I know that we have it on here. We're flashing it up here. The general YouTube channel, which we'll get to a few clips here later on, which I thought were interesting. But this general one is really just kind of like it's obviously an edited one. It's filtered. From that site, or from whether it be Twitter or Instagram, can people get to like a totally unfiltered one? How does that work for the person who wants to view your content long term?
Are you referring to the uncensored content?
Yes.
Right. So yeah. Right. So I do have priority viewing, uncensored content, photos that I do post on Instagram that are uncensored on Patreon, which I'm assuming you guys are familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. Okay. So I do have a Patreon, and that makes up for the majority of that type of content. I've recently started switching it up where now, because before you could see the same content on YouTube censored or watch it uncensored on Patreon, but now what I've started to do in my last 2 recent videos, which only one is actually live right now, but one of my videos is only 10 minutes long on YouTube, but it's 20 minutes long on Patreon.
Wow.
So now I'm actually offering more than just what you can actually see for free on YouTube to create more incentives to actually signing up to the Patreon.
That's a good idea.
Right. Yeah, no, it's I think proven really effective. I just started doing it. And I think, when people think, oh, are you a YouTuber? Are you a YouTuber? Yes. I mean, technically I do upload videos on YouTube, but I think nowadays, people are more just a content creator. You're uploading content on multiple platforms, especially since, I'm completely demonetized on Facebook, YouTube.
Are you really?
Right. Yeah. Recently, YouTube removed my AdSense, or disabled the ability to monetize, which is pretty crazy since I've been monetized for years.
Why?
But I do understand due to the nature of my content.
Don't worry, Franklin. We'll get to why in a little while here.
I've seen. I mean,
We'll see exactly why.
I've seen some pretty interesting stuff there that non-monetized content. Sorry, monetized content. I'm just curious, but it's wondering how they pick and choose who does and who's monetized and who isn't.
I'm not too concerned. I mean, yes, it would be nice to be monetized on YouTube, and even when I was monetized,
Maybe the algorithm or something. Who knows?
Right, exactly. It's more for, because it was like $100 a month or something. So, but more so for the algorithm. I mean, I still have seen videos perform very successful without monetization, which is great. It's really more so when the video becomes age restricted. I've noticed a huge decrease in the video's performance based on just it being, recommended, the searchability, the visibility when people search for me. That's when I take a bigger hit. But honestly, I've seen, this video I did in January, the strip club video I did, where I shot a video inside a strip club, VIP section, stuff that you would normally not be able to film with the owner's permission and the consent of all the girls. So that video was age restricted very quickly, but still it seems to have broken through YouTube's barriers and reached over 3 million views.
Wow.
And it's performing really well. And to me, yeah, it's unfortunate it's not monetized, which is fine, but it's more so, getting that visibility, gaining those subscribers who then may convert into Patreon.
Patreon, right.
Exactly. But just to see a video perform like that, age restricted, demonetized completely, it's just very interesting how YouTube's algorithm, and I know they mention this, they change it constantly, so people
of course they do.
Can't figure it out and then game the system, which makes sense. But it's still just, stuff like that to me is very interesting to see.
Yeah, in the very beginning, if they mentioned C19, most, if not a lot of the videos were demonetized on Tube if they had mentioned C19.
Yeah, but that's changed now.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. Yeah, I'm saying earlier.
Just like Lorenzo's saying.
Yeah.
I saw it today. It totally changed. Now there's a thing saying like, okay, well, it's okay now.
Right.
Before
before it wasn't.
what sense that make, whatever. But the Patreon, I wanted to get back to that. Is that a monthly subscription for people that want to do that?
Yes, it is a monthly subscription, although I'm sure some users, they'll sign up, watch content for a couple days, then leave. It's, but typically, yes, it is a monthly subscription.
Okay. And now, on a lot of these clips, some of them that we'll see shortly here, you seem to have a little crew. Are these people you grew up with, people you met in college, and you had this idea together? Who works with you to do these things?
It's changed because I recently started doing this within the last 2 years. I'm not originally from Austin. I'm actually from California, so I moved out here due to a job that I'm no longer working at. But most of the people I find, Craigslist, I put out an ad. I met 2 people. They ended up filming for me for a lot of these videos. One of them, which is I'm still very good friends with, and he'll come out and we'll film still. And another, actually, just recently, I was in Las Vegas last year, and he was a Patreon member. Reached out to me, said, "Hey, if you're in Vegas, you need help filming. I'll come out and help you." And now I'm actually going to be flying him out. Oh, actually, before C19, I was actually going to fly him out. He was going to live here, cover his rent, pay him, and he was my permanent videographer. We put that on hold because of everything that's going on. But typically the people that I film with, it's just me and a camera guy when we're doing the 6th Street stuff. And then the more intense pranks where there's a bigger setup, just friends that I've made through networking. But honestly, Craigslist is how I first meet people, and then we become really good friends, and then we just work together on various projects.
Nice. That's great. And speaking of projects, one of the clips you had was you actually went to Vegas to the AVN Awards, and you were talking to all the stars, and you were just doing a whole bunch of crazy crap, which was great. How was that experience? And which of the girls impressed you? Which of them were like you were really a letdown, in your opinion?
Yeah, AVN was great. It was my first year going, and it was something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and it was just a great experience. I had a few ideas prior to going to AVN, and then they kind of just switched as we were there. We kind of thought of new things, but no, I thought it was great. The girls, for the most part, we tried to see who was there, make a schedule, try to visit the booths, perform our question or prank or whatever it might be with them. I really enjoyed, there were so many, some of the girls, you can tell were very enthusiastic about what they do and meeting people. And then I would say a letdown was, Bella Danger. She was one of the bigger names that I was, aware of before going to AVN. And she really you could tell she was just there because she had to be. Like, she would stand in line. She would stand there. People would come in line. I mean, she was very nice, hug you, talk with you. But you can kind of get that vibe where, she was just there because she had to. She was sometimes not always sticking to her schedule, leaving early or showing up late. On the other hand, someone like Riley Reed, who had her own booth, was fantastic. She was very personable, very nice. You could tell she actually genuinely enjoyed being there with her fans and taking the time out, because her line was hours long. She had her own booth, and she really made sure to stay there the entire time and make sure she had a chance to interact with people. But because based on our schedule, her bodyguard was really nice guy. I slipped him $100 and he just let me cut the line, and and I was able to get the shot that I needed.
I could imagine the shots you got.
He's my favorite. He likes us brothers. Hey now. Hey.
So, and I have to say, when I first came across your stuff, and I've been looking at your stuff for well over a month now. So it took me a while to kind of, get over to you to get you on here. But it struck me as back in the day, and who knows if you even will remember this series, but there was a Girls Gone Wild series where people used to do this kind of stuff. And I think what you guys are doing is you're taking it from, where it was, all the way to like a 10. So just to kind of give people out there the barometer of things. It's not just like some thoughts or just crazy chicks. You guys do pranks, from what I can tell, right? And you just do some wacky stuff, which isn't just girls, flashing and doing all. Which there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot that goes into the different categories of stuff that you have to offer on Nerdballer. So
yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that. And it's funny because that's how it sort of started, with the flashing. And then, like you said, I wanted to provide people with a little bit more, especially for signing up to something like a Patreon. I feel like the quality and the type of content has to go beyond that, even though that is the most popular demand. But Girls Gone Wild, definitely growing up, Comedy Central would stay up late, wait for the commercials. So Joe Francis is definitely somebody it would be great to sit down and have a conversation with, because I really look into Girls Gone Wild more in depth about maybe 6 months ago, just to understand their business model more and Joe Francis as a person, and avoid some of the stuff that he got into trouble with, and learn from them and see what I can do to not only prevent that, but they'll also improve with what we do with Nerdballer TV. So definitely an inspiration, maybe I would say.
Yeah, I would think so. And what made you think of this whole business model and doing this? And was it hard to get the upfront starting cash to do this?
Yes and no. I think it was a slow, gradual build. I mean, when I first started taking this serious, I had quit. I was working at Facebook, $75K a year, full benefits, really nice job. And it just wasn't really what, I was set out to do when I, moved out, was to make videos. So I stopped that. I did Uber and Lyft, just enough money to, pay rent on a room I was renting. And I would go out to 6th Street. Occasionally I would shoot pranks. The 6th Street stuff went viral, and it was really low cost. It was just a camera with a light and a $40 microphone. And I didn't even upgrade to a wireless mic until like the first 8 months. I had this wired mic. Drunk people, they're walking through it. People are getting tangled. It was just, and then maybe paying somebody to show up, because we do film. At least back then, I would film like at 10 p.m. until 1 a.m. or so. Now we film midnight to 2 a.m. But it was a very low cost, at least initially. The more advanced pranks, my budget monthly now, might be, $5,000 plus on producing content, just because the props, paying the girls, the crew, it's more than just me and a camera guy on 6th Street. But the 6th Street stuff, for the most part, is very, budget friendly.
All right. And I want to tell everybody out there that your channel, at least from what I can tell, is well over 500,000 subscribers. So, this is something. I mean, how long have you actually been running the channel?
So the channel was created, January 2009. Okay. And back then, this is, high school, just uploading random stuff. I moved out. I did a bunch of comedy sketches back, the old school YouTube days, doing parodies. And it wasn't until 2017 when, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Nelk. They're a really big, popular prank channel on YouTube.
I have heard of them.
Almost 4 or 5 million subs now. But they needed a place to stay before they were really big as they are now. And I let them crash at my Airbnb. And I sort of ditched work and to hang out with them. And it was really motivating to see their hustle, their grind, shooting, editing in this Airbnb that I let them stay at. And that sort of made me realize, hey, let me take YouTube more serious. And, I feel like once you sort of treat it like a job, then you'll get paid like a job. Right. My deadline is 1 video a week. I have to stick to that. So that's when I started January 2018 is when I started making videos. So I would say the last 2 years, because January 2018, I was at 50K subs, and those 50K subs were from, the previous 8 years of just messing around. And then, the channel just started taking off. I will have to say, my videos, when YouTube glitches, it's really weird. A lot of my videos, like we know, are demonetized or age restricted, but occasionally YouTube will glitch, and let's say a video will go green, will become monetized for the weekend, and I'll gain 80,000 subscribers in 3 days, and then YouTube will fix itself, and then the subscribers go back to normal 100-day, 200-day, or whatever it might be. So I feel like because of the algorithm, obviously, if you can get in the algorithm or recommended, the channel would, if assuming all my videos were monetized, I feel like my channel would have grown a lot faster. Yeah. But to me, it's to produce the type of content that I produce and still have over 500,000 subscribers, in my opinion, is still, an accomplishment, I guess. Is what
I would say so. And what are speaking of your segments? What do you like to do the most? What are the ones that you really like? You get into and you enjoy filming out of all the different ones that you tend to put on the channel?
Parodies.
No, that's a good question. It would really be between the 6th Street stuff and then the pranks. 6th Street stuff, I would say it's more fun when I have a really solid idea. I go out there, it's fun. It gives me an opportunity to also meet fans who obviously have seen my stuff. They're out there, they're looking for me. It feels really rewarding and great. The pranks are more stressful because we need to keep shooting until we get good enough reactions, and that can be tough sometimes, depending on the prank. So I would say I definitely enjoy the 6th Street stuff more, for sure. I would say, yeah.
Well, I enjoy that too, and I'm actually going to bring up your channel here because I want to I want to show the audience the interface, okay, so they get an idea here of what we're looking at, and I also want to see if we can. Let me just make sure, because I want to make sure we do this properly.
I know that bum. Looks familiar.
That's right. You probably know him from somewhere. One of the ones that I liked when I was doing my little thing was, where was it? Here we go.
What about there you go.
Actually, I want to dial it back a little bit here. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is not child friendly. The only problem is she's never going to be doing this for the guy she's marrying.
No, that's the last night.
My goodness.
I can suck a dick.
Oh my! Oh, here we go. Oh, wait a second. Oh my goodness!
Everybody out here is a professional.
There you go. Oh, there we go.
How do you lick vagina? Can you show me?
Yeah.
All right. Oh wow.
All right.
Shit. Wow.
It started being so fucking dry, but I'll suck it again.
Oh
You can hold on to me if you need to. There you go.
Oh my
She's a
goodness.
professional.
There you go. All right, so that's good on that one. That was one of my favorites there, Lorenzo.
Yeah, that one.
Color correct.
Now, was that 6th Street?
Yes, that was from 6th Street.
So that again, this is for our audience here. Some of them are in the East. Is that like a big place that people go out and hang out?
Yeah, so 6th Street, they call it Dirty Sixth.
Let's see why.
Yeah, it gets crazy. It's basically a popular street full of bars, clubs, which they shut down the streets completely. So there's no cars that can drive through from about 10 p.m. till 3 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. Thursday night is college night, and then Friday, Saturday, is the weekends. So they shut down the streets completely, and it's just full of people. And like you saw in that clip, people go there for their bachelorette parties, bachelor parties, birthday parties. I know people who travel, from different states, and they come here to 6th Street because, that's, what, it's famous for. And that's something that I learned moving here. I've been here now for about 3 years now. So I haven't really seen any other place like it besides Bourbon Street recently when I was there for Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it has that feel of Bourbon Street. So let's see one of the pranks here. This girl orders naked pizza. Let's take a look at this one.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, he was like this. His eyes.
Oh, sorry. Here we go.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Now this is an actress. Like you know this girl?
Yeah, so this is the very first, real uncensored prank that I did. So I found her through a modeling talent agency.
Right.
And I told them, hey, I was looking for a model to do this video. What would that cost? What would that look like? Is that possible? And that was in LA, actually, while we were there with a bunch of other YouTube friends. We all pitched in for an Airbnb.
Okay.
I figured I would try to shoot something while we got this really nice mansion in the Hollywood Hills, so we were just shooting every day.
That was a good one. There's one guy here that like it's really. Where is he?
10 pizzas.
I was really looking for more sausage.
More sausage.
Yeah, like that's what I want, sausage. Can you bring some more sausage? Do you have sausage?
Did he say that I have a condom? Is that what he said?
Can you get my change, please?
I
Okay.
I'm not sure, man. Wow, it's been a while. Yeah, I don't.
I'll be waiting. See if you have any sausage in your car, maybe.
There you go. Oh my goodness. Well, there you go. That's good.
Well done.
That is good. So,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was. I think that was the first censored prank I did. I think.
Was it? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give people a taste of what just is. I mean, as they can all see out there, I mean that site has at least 40 different clips. So just to get people to get a taste of what you offer, and I couldn't even imagine what you offer on the Patreon. That must be tremendous. So definitely people, get out there and do that and get to his Patreon. Can they get to the Patreon through the general YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's just nerdballertv.com. It just redirects to.
Okay.
But yeah, YouTube, Instagram, usually all the links are basically direct back to Patreon.
Right. Now, speaking of this entity, Nerdballer TV, I give you like a magic ball and you look into it 10 years from now. Where do you want to see this? Like, where do you want to take this?
Netflix.
There you go.
That's a very good question, and that's something that I've been thinking about recently lately, especially as with the lockdown going on and sort of expanding sort of what business that I'm doing that I associate with Nerdballer TV. So probably more from a producer standpoint, maybe. Right now I'm looking into possibly a content creator house, maybe get and sort of create this brand of creators that I also produce and manage that create similar content. That way, where I'm more behind the scenes, but I oversee the operations, which is why I've looked into alternative hosts. Maybe a female host. I've been doing auditions for that up until the lockdown. It's just exactly how far or which direction I want to take it. I think it's more from behind the scenes and turn Nerdballer TV into a brand that people can recognize, as the party, fun, a roster of really cool, fun, girls, and maybe some other guys too, depending, in which direction we decide to go. So still working on it, but that's just a brief overview of sort of what I foresee.
Well, that's it's tremendous, and like I said, I wanted to get you on here to tell us about what this was, the channel and everything, and people out there, if you're looking for something really, really, really good, really different, and really off the wall, you guys got to get to Nerdballer TV. All right, and definitely if you want to see all the uncensored stuff, get to his Patreon. Lorenzo, again, I have to thank you so much for popping on here real quick and doing this. I think your work is tremendous, and I will continue to promote it here on the program because I think it's I think it's something that a lot of guys are out there looking for to get a laugh, to get maybe to get some other things, but.
In these dark times, we need a laugh, and I think you've got what people are looking for, man. It's good stuff.
That's right.
Yeah,
we're all gonna get laid.
So, that's what they're hoping for.
Thank you both for having me on. I really do appreciate it. It's been great, and I'm glad that you guys also enjoy the content as well.
Absolutely. So I will say this in closing. I want you to stay safe, and everybody to stay safe. And this way we can have you back on again when maybe you're doing something else too, in addition to the channel. So, all right.
Yeah, no, definitely. And same for you guys as well. Hope you guys are staying safe, and everyone stay safe. Hopefully, I think we can all get through this. It's just a matter of time.
I agree too. All right, Lorenzo, have a wonderful night, my man.
All right, thank you guys.
Save 6th Street.
Take care, guys. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye.